This is PC Spiele Tipps und Tricks with a solo against a base with 24 Flaks level 3. Moving all groups to the target is already a challenge, example given because of fuel. But then everything must happen very fast, as waiting near the target increases the risk that the opponent might notice what is happening, collects his units, moves them nearby and disturbs the attack significantly. This is also the reason why it is a goal to have very short battles. If you use Polotorkas for your attack, always start with these. Afterwards, they only would block space in front of the base and add nearly no additional damage. The purpose of these Polotorkas is to enable the real base killers, the howitzer boat Flower and the howitzer Karl, to shoot on the base. A base having many Flaks makes a lot of damage. It is beneficial to reduce the number of Flaks a bit before the Breeders arrive. I really wait until all Polotorkas are gone, as the Flaks would change the target immediately and then these Polotorkas would remain there until the end of the battle. After the last Polotorka, the Breeders start with their job. You can see in the video how the flowers are firing from below and the Karls from the right side. Even if Polotorkas and Breeders are called base killers, the main damage is provided by the Karls. Breeders are the main element of the very long second phase of this battle. It is important to position these in a way that they don't block each other and all can shoot on the base. Even if the battle should be as short as possible, you should not feel too much stress. Stay cool and send each group to the right place. We are not fighting for milliseconds. We only want to avoid unnecessary breaks. When all 4 groups are placed in front of the base, quickly check on the minimap that there are no activities of the opponent. Everything is peaceful, so the remaining groups are moved closer to the target, as in the beginning the Breeders are destroyed very fast. The replacement groups must arrive in time. We don't want breaks in that battle. It is not enough to send more groups of Breeders to the base. Also the Karls need more ammunition in time. 3 Karls finish a complete group of MP4s very fast. So I must send the next of the 6 groups in time. Even better if the Karls have the possibility to fetch their ammunition from 2 groups. Empty MP4 groups are sent to secure bases immediately to reduce the risk during a battle in case we get disturbed. In the front line, 2 groups of Breeders need to be replaced. The replenishment is also nearby, and I fetch even more to be used later. This applies to Breeders as well as to MP4s. My calculation is to have 2 groups of MP4s per Karl. These SP2 still have to wait a bit, but I already moved them a bit closer. As soon as there are enough Breeders in front of the base again, when the flowers and the Karls are firing, it is time to check the minimap again. Such a solo attack uses so many of the available groups for attacking the base: Breeders, Karls, MP4s, flowers, Halifax, etc. Not much is left to stop neutral attackers who want to disturb the attack. The plan is to stop the attack quickly if someone disturbs and to use the remaining groups to slow down the troublemaker. But currently the minimap has no red spots. Again and again the message appears that fuel is not sufficient. I prefer a concept using only very little gold. In other videos in this channel you learn much more about that approach. One strategic element is to avoid using gold for accelerators, especially fuel. Therefore, I don't have a huge stock of fuel. I always can use the currently produced fuel only. This works pretty well if you have at least 2 bases. The warning appears, but my groups are moving very well. The message tells me that the current stock of fuel is not enough to complete the move that I asked for. But moving takes time, and in this time my bases produce what is needed. Such middle parts of the battle are usually cut from a video as there is not happening much. This video is an exception. I show the complete battle without cuts and without accelerating parts, including the first shot and the destruction of the last flag. This way everybody can get a full impression of such a base attack. Now I wait for the right moment to bring in the SP2s. This is exactly when the Flaks change the target to a fresh group of Braiders. Until this group is destroyed completely, the Flaks will not attack the SP2s. And these SP2s are too expensive to simply waste them in a base attack. But their impressive firepower is very useful in such a base attack. A single group of SP2s delivers more damage than 2.5 groups of Braiders, but they do not consume more space than Braiders. This allows even faster attacks than the one demonstrated today. Instead, I use an economically efficient way, paying attention that my SP2s are not getting damage. Besides an occasional look on the minimap, I look carefully how the Braiders are destroyed. I don't want to miss the moment when the group is destroyed completely, which requires more of my attention for what is happening in front of the base. When the number of Braiders in that group is reduced below 10, I move away my SP2s to avoid that these might become the next target of the Flaks. Better they are not making damage for a few seconds than getting destroyed such a valuable group. As soon as the Flaks change to another group of Braiders, these SP2s return. Now I also add the Brooms. So my damage is not reducing in the end, instead it even grows significantly. I only have to take care that my Karls always have enough ammunition. The final mighty boost is my Air Force. HO bombers and helifax are throwing their bombs on the Flaks now. Nothing would be worse than weakening a base, slowing down the progress in the final phase to allow someone else to take over this base. I prefer to add everything in the end so that this final part of this battle is extremely short. And in this final phase I trust that my damage is good enough that the last flag is destroyed before my last Braider. I still don't want my expensive units become the target, but the damage caused by a single flag would not be that much now. But I even tried to avoid this. Bombing holes waste a lot of fuel. This is always stressing my production. Empty bombers are sent away in time. As you can see, I calculated the required number of breeders and ammunition correctly. Even after the last flag has been destroyed, the battle is not over. All units have to be moved to the second row of bases where no opponent will be able to see them. At the same time, I move the APC that I prepared to the conquered base.
Basis erobert.
I quickly build Flaks.